What largely felt like a joyless task, say, 5 years ago happens to be a whole different ballgame now. We are precisely emphasizing on video game adaptations, which, to be honest, are literally on fire these days, especially with so many of them being made into genuinely great films and incredible TV series. This brings us to Konami's survival horror video game series Silent Hill, which, if you did not know, was a commercial success right upon its release. That's not all. Silent Hill is also regarded by plenty to be one of the greatest video games to have ever been made, one that not only defined the survival horror genre, but also moved it away from its typical B-movie horror elements towards a much more psychological horror style. The two movies that the video game series spawned later might not be certified horror classics, but the fact that they have been overwhelmingly atmospheric isn't something that you can disregard right away. The effective horror flicks have undoubtedly done a spectacular job in creating the cinematic equivalent of the eerie video game, keeping the audience on the edge of their seats throughout. After years of dormancy, it is safe to say that the Silent Hill franchise has good news for its beloved fans. Christoph Gans, who directed the first Silent Hill film back in the year 2006, is all set to direct the third installment in the film series. Join us as we run through everything we know about Return to Silent Hill. Are you ready? Let's dive right into the video then. But before we go into our video, we do have one small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means an awful lot. Thank you. Now let's begin. A peek into the franchise. Now, we're aware of the fact that you're quite keyed up to learn about all the exciting developments that are going to take place in the upcoming movie. But before we get to that part, here's us quickly touching upon the premise of the franchise in general, so that even the new viewers in our channel are on the same page. When it comes to the franchise, it is primarily set in the fictional town of Silent Hill. No points for guessing that the titular place is obviously plagued by supernatural events, and the creepy town somehow always manages to lure various characters only to have them encounter psychological torture, horrifying-looking monsters, and of course the very mysteries that are tied to each of the characters' pasts. That being said, now that we all have a basic fair idea, let's take a look at the questions. Does Return to Silent Hill have a release date? Well, there was a time when fans expected this movie to be released in 2023, especially with Victor Hadida returning to produce and direct, that somehow that never really happened. The current status of Gans' upcoming psychological horror film states that it's in production, which means that there is a fair chance we might be seeing the third installment in Silent Hill film series hitting the theaters next year for sure. Do we have a trailer yet? While we do not exactly have a trailer as such, we do have is more like a teaser. In case you did not know this, Return to Silent Hill is based on Konami's 2001 survival horror game Silent Hill 2 and features a storyline, one that stays true to its source material. While we will get into the details of the plot later, here is what we could make out from the dialogue-free teaser. We find James Sutherland traveling to the eponymous town Silent Hill after receiving a letter only to find himself getting entangled in pure nightmare. The teaser has James encountering terrifying figures before finally crossing paths with the infamous villain, Pyramid Head. What is the storyline of Return to Silent Hill about? The premise has James Sutherland receiving a mysterious letter from his dead wife and going back to the town of Silent Hill in the hopes of getting reunited with her. Now, it is a given thing that his wife's death has completely taken a toll on him, and James is hell-bent on finding his beloved now more than ever. However, what was once a town that he used to know so well has become a billowing, foggy town, one that is swarming with known and unknown horrors. Will James be strong enough to keep himself sane while descending deeper into the darkness and also rescue his wife at the same time? Well, for that, we will have to wait with nothing but bated breath. On a slightly different note, Gans has also confirmed that the new movie will also be modernizing the story while following the plotline of Silent Hill 2. Casts and characters. While the production team has kept majority of the casting details strictly under wraps, we have managed to lay our hands on a few names. English actor Jeremy Irvin, who is famous for his role in the 2018 jukebox musical romantic comedy Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, amongst others, has been roped in to play the leading character of James Sutherland. Next, we have Canadian actress Hannah Emily Anderson in the role of Mary Shepard Sutherland, the deceased wife of James. For those of wondering where you've seen Hannah before, one will certainly remember her from the psychological horror flick What Keeps You Alive, as well as the action horror anthology TV series The Purge. Besides the one we've mentioned, Evie Templeton has also been roped in to play the role of Laura. In the video game, Laura happens to be an 8-year-old orphan who frequently puts James in the path of danger. However, we don't know how her role will pan out in the upcoming movie. Return to Silent Hill will also be featuring the return of Pyramid Head, and if Roberto Campanella will be reprising his role from the previous movies, it's something certainly to be seen. As for the remaining cast list, we're yet to gain more information, but as soon as we do so, you'll certainly be the first to know. Who else is involved in the movie? Return to Silent Hill is backed by a screenplay by Will Schneider, Sandra Voan, and also Gans himself. Victor Hadida is serving as a producer, and the whole point is to make an exciting newer version of Silent Hill while adding an emotional layer to the horror so as to make it more unsettling. Where has the movie been filmed? Principal photography of the movie took place between April last year to February this year. Filming was done in Belgrade and other places like Munich, Lake Ammer, Nuremberg, and Penzing. Marvelous verdict. From all the information that we have, it is only fitting to address Return to Silent Hill as this deep dive into the territory of psychological horror. As for our plan, we intend to break down more information that we'd be able to gather, but right now it is all that we have for you guys. And with this, we finally come to the end of our video. So, who among you guys are excited about Return to Silent Hill? Have you seen the previous 2 movies? Well, if you've not, we suggest that you do. If you have something interesting to add, hit us up in the comments section, and you already know what to do. If you enjoyed this video, please do leave a thumbs up and stay tuned with us, as we promise to come back with another video soon. Until then, stay safe and stay marvelous. Thank you for watching. Have a nice one.